Palma Airport is teeming with hundreds of German tourists. Last week, an average of 80 flights ran every day between Germany and the main Balearic Island, 4 times more than in recent months.
We wanted to get to know the islands, to enjoy some sun, and above all, after a year of the pandemic, we wanted to see something different. We want to talk about something different.
On the seafront, they're soaking up the sun without wearing a mask, and also enjoying the bars and restaurants being open until 5. COVID restrictions that are much lighter than Germany's at the moment. But that doesn't worry these holidaymakers.
I think it's a quarter of the cases we have in Germany, so it's much safer here. We had to take the PCR test before we could fly over, so we kind of knew it's most likely that everyone that came here is also negative.
Nevertheless, Angela Merkel called on Germans not to travel to Spain. No one here listened to her advice.
Perhaps she doesn't think that we are able to keep our distance, you know. But I have a brain and I have a stomach feeling and I know how to behave.
Since restrictions were eased on the island, the rate of COVID has doubled. These Germans are arriving amid fears of a 4th wave.
This is a critical moment, and we don't know if the Germans are going to lead to a rise of a number of new infections, and whether that will make things harder for us.
It's great for our economy, because if not, I don't know how we're going to survive, because tourism's the only thing we live off.
Tourism is the island's main business. 80% of its economy depends on it. This company organises tours around the town's streets.
It's like a joystick. You play PlayStation, FIFA, Fortnite, sorry.
After a year without any work, Alex sees the return of tourists as a question of survival.
I had to find another job while I was waiting. Now, it seems that they're giving us a bit of breathing space, and we're going to be able to work.
The sector has long called for the opening of borders and for tourists to be encouraged to visit.
I'd say that about 60–65% of our customers are international. 40–35% are national. It's important to allow foreigners to come, but also Spaniards.
Because while foreigners can come to Spain, Spaniards are currently banned from leaving their region. The borders of the autonomous regions are closed. This woman from Madrid is a victim of those COVID restrictions. She can't meet her boyfriend in Valencia.
That
was the last photo we took together. We haven't seen each other since Christmas. He was able to come then because he had a job here for a few days. But since then, we haven't met up. And it's been a long time. It could even put our relationship at risk because of the distance. It's difficult.
A situation this Spanish woman finds highly unjust. And this tourist association agrees with her.
It doesn't make any sense for a German citizen to be able to travel here from Berlin or a French person from Paris to Madrid when a Madrid resident can't get to Toledo, which is 60 kilometers away from here, particularly when there is a COVID rate lower than in many other countries.
Foreigners can come to Spain if they can present a negative PCR. Those working in the tourist sector argue Spaniards should be able to change regions under the same conditions. In Madrid, the regional government supports that idea. But at the moment, the Spanish capital can still only receive foreign visitors, including tens of thousands of French people.
The Spaniards are really strict about wearing masks. If you respect that, you can go out, meet up with people, speak to people, go to a restaurant. You can really have a social life.
But not all visitors from abroad respect local COVID rules. This neighbourhood association complains foreigners are behaving badly.
The situation is intolerable, outrageous. Residents are taking safety measures to prevent infection, and they have to watch, as the people you see outside don't respect them at all. It's really annoying.
And after the 11 o'clock curfew, the partying continues on in many flats.
This tourism is based on alcohol. They're going to buy drink here, they come out with bags of alcohol and they take it back to the tourist apartments. Are they going to wear a mask and to respect any safety measures? Of course not.
Spain is trapped between handling the pandemic and saving its economy. Tourism accounts for 2.5 million jobs and 13% of its GDP.